Okay. Now coming to the point, so conservation of the plants and animals. Our lesson name is the so conservation of the plants and animals, especially in our state book they are given to that biodiversity of the plants and animals. Biodiversity and its conservation. Yes. What is the meaning of the biodiversity? Biodiversity means so different types of the plants and animals are present in the biosphere, that is called biodiversity. My voice is audible to you? So conservation means protection. So actually day by day what happened, so many species are the extinct, endangered or endemic. So that's why these are the species we can protect ourselves. So that's why lesson name is the so conservation of the plants and animals. Biodiversity means different types of the plants and animals are present in our surrounding in the earth or in the biosphere, that we can protect that plants and animal, conserve our compulsory conserve that plants and animals. Now you can see wildlife sanctuary, all points again we are getting. Wildlife sanctuary, national park and biosphere reserves are the names are given to the areas meant conservation and preservation of the wild of forest and animal. So that means we can preservation of the forest and wildlife animals, we can use it to the wildlife sanctuary, national park and biosphere reserves. Is it clear? Next, biodiversity refers to the variety of the living organism in a specific area. They are given to the definition in the very clearly. Okay, biodiversity means biodiversity refers to the variety of the living organism in a specific area. So in this particular area, different types of the plants and animals are present. That is known as the biodiversity. Within the limited of the area, different types of the plants and animals, different types of that fauna and fauna is present. That is known as the biodiversity. So plants and animals of a particular area are known as the flora or fauna of that area. So generally we can call to that plants. Okay, so plants means flora and animals means fauna. So that means so in this particular area different types of the plants and animals are present, that is known as the flora and fauna. Next, endemic species are found only in a particular area. So which of the areas, for example, you know very well, Australia present, in the Australia generally kangaroos are present, New Zealand kiwi birds are present, India tigers are present. So these are the endemic species. Okay, endemic species are found only in a particular area, particular country. We can see it kangaroos only we can see in the Australia only. Anywhere we can see? Avinash. Hello? Are you understanding? Next, endangered species means endangered species are those which are facing the danger of extinction. So that means if you are using continuously these are the natural resources, some of the organism to become a extinct species, they are disappear. So such type of the organisms are known as the endangered species are those which are facing the danger of extinction. Okay, endangered species are those which are facing the danger of extinction is called endangered species. Next, red data book contain record of the endangered species. Actually endangered species we can write separate book is there. So worldwide International Union for Conservation of that wildlife, according to that red data book contain record of the endangered species. Migration. migration means actually, especially you know very well, birds. Birds they can move to the one place to the another place, search for the food, shelter, and breeding purpose. They can move. Okay. Migration is the phenomena of the movement of the species from its own habitat to some other habitat for a particular time period every year for a specific purpose like breeding. For example, okay, in our India, Bharatpura sanctuary. So actually, that some types of the cranes are some types of the birds are coming from the Russia. In the summer season in our country, is the more temperature is present, escaped from the temperature, so that's why again they can go to that their native places to that Russia. So that means again in the winter season more cold is present, escape from the winter, again they are coming to in our India. So such types of the birds, okay. So such type of the birds they can migrate one place to the another place because of the shelter, okay, breeding purpose and food purpose. They can move to that one place to the another place. Next, we should reuse recycle paper to save the trees, energy and water. Actually, that nature given to the natural resources. Air is the natural resources. Water is the natural resources. Soil is the natural resources. Paper is the natural resources. We can save it. We can conserve it. We can preserve it. Okay. Next, reforestation means reforestation is the restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. So, if you are growing to the new plant, that is called reforestation. Deforestation means cutting of the trees is known as the deforestation. Deforestation also leads to the less amount of the rainfall, reduction of the crop yield, everything. So that's why everyone must and should their at least their birthday they can grow one particular type of the plant. Okay. Next, biosphere reserves are the areas meant for the conservation of the biodiversity. Very important point. So biosphere reserves are that, especially biosphere reserves are the areas meant for the conservation of the biodiversity. We can conserve the biodiversity through the biosphere reserves. We can conserve the biodiversity through the wildlife sanctuary. We can conserve the biodiversity through the national park. We can conserve the biodiversity biosphere reserves. Is it clear? Next, coming to the point. So these once you can see biodiversity, having a variety of the plants and animals in a particular area, having a variety of the plants and animals in a particular area is known as the biodiversity. Biosphere reserves the part of the earth and its atmosphere in which living organisms exist that is capable supporting of the life. So, for example, we that environment supporting to the life, that is nothing but biosphere reserves. Okay, deforestation, cutting down of the trees is known as the deforestation, and desertification. What is the biggest desert in our India? What is the biggest desert in our India? Sorry, in worldwide the biggest desert? Sahara Desert, very good. So desertification means clearing of the forest and using that land for the other purposes, or the gradual conversion of the fertile land into the desert. Actually that fertile land, agriculture land converted into the desert, so that is called desertification. Okay, so fertile land is converted into that desert, that is called desertification, or clearing of the forest and using of the land for the other purpose is called desertification. If that deserts condition you can see more temperature is present, less amount of the rainfall is present, so that the plants are cannot grow in that particular area, that crop yield also getting to the very less. So if you are growing to the crops, compulsory required to that minimum temperature and more amount of the water. Next, ecosystem. The structural functional unit of that biosphere is known as the ecosystem. The structural functional unit of the organism, cell. The structural functional unit of the organism is known as the cell. The structural functional unit of the respiratory system is known as the alveoli. Alveoli. The structural functional unit of the excretory system is known as the nephron. The structural functional unit of the nervous system is known as the neuron. Shall I again repeat? These are the words. The structural functional unit of the biosphere is known as the ecosystem. The structural functional unit of the living organism is dash, cell. The structural functional unit of that respiratory system, alveoli. Alveoli. Okay. The structural functional unit of that nervous system is called neuron. What is that? The structural functional unit of the excretory system, nephron. Nephron. Okay. The structural functional unit of the living organism is known as the cell. Is it clear? Next, coming to the point, endangered species. The species which are facing the danger of extinction. Okay. So that means the species which are facing the danger of the extinction is called endangered species. Endemic species. The species that is found only in the particular area, particular country, particular place, particular land, particular area. So that is called endemic species. The species that is found only in the particular area. The species of the plants like flora and animals, fauna, which are found extensively in the particular area. So kangaroos are present in the Australia, that is known as the endemic species. So kangaroo is the endemic species of the Australia. Kiwi bird is the endemic species of the New Zealand. Tiger is the endemic species of the India. Peacock is the endemic species of India. Okay, like. Extinct species. Extinct species means the species which are not existing on the earth. The species which are not existing on the earth is called extinct species. Fauna. The animals that are found in a particular area. What are the animals are present? That animals are present in the particular area is called especially fauna. Flora, the plants that are found in a particular area. Plants means flora, animals means fauna. Migratory birds, the birds that move from one place to the another place. So food purpose, shelter purpose, breeding purpose. So that is called migratory birds. Migratory birds. Okay, examples. So Siberian crane is coming from that Russia to Bharatpura sanctuary in India in the winter season. Again in the winter, more temperature is present. So that's why again that summer season, this Siberian crane again go to their native place to the Russia. This is the example of the migratory bird. Is it clear? Now coming to the point, these are the points are very, very important. National park. What is the meaning of the national park? The areas reserved for the wildlife where they can freely use the habitat and natural resources. Which of the animals they are using to the used to the habitat and natural resources which they can freely use. the areas reserved for the wildlife where they can freely use the habitat and natural resources, or a large area of the land preserved in the natural state as a public property. So these both of the definition of the national park: the area reserved for the wildlife where they can freely use the habitat and natural resources, or a large area of the land preserved in its natural state as a public property. Red data book, very very important for the competitive examination. The book containing the details of the endangered and threatened species of the flora and fauna is called red data book. Red data book means the book that contains the details of the endangered and threatened species of the flora and fauna is called red data book. Next, reforestation. Restocking of the destroyed forest by the planting new trees. The restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees, or the process of the restocking the destroyed forest by planting new trees of different or same species is called reforestation. Next, sanctuary. The area where the animals are protected from any disturbance to them and their habitat, or an area where the wild animals and plants are protected. So this is about the mind map. Okay. So what is the mind map? Conservation of the biodiversity. In situ conservation. Conservation of the species in their natural habitat. First one is the wildlife sanctuaries. Chambal, Gerial wildlife sanctuaries. Second one is the national parks. Kaziranga National Park, Bandipur National Park, and ex situ conservation. Ex situ conservation means conservation of the species outside their natural habitat. So example, zoological park, Nehru Zoological Park, Indira Gandhi Zoo Park. Botanical garden, Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose Botanical Garden, Kolkata, Lal Bagh, Bangalore. And biodiversity, endangered species, endemic species, extinct species. So endangered species example, great Indian bustard and Nepenthes, lion. So endangered species example, great Indian bustard, Nepenthes, lion. Endemic species, kiwi bird, kangaroo, wild mango. And extinct species, Asiatic cheetah and dinosaur. These are the examples of the biodiversity of the extinct species. And they are given, a place where animals are protected in their natural habitat is called dash. What is the answer? National Park. No. Wildlife sanctuary. What is that? Wildlife sanctuary. A place where animals are protected in their natural habitat is wildlife sanctuary. Second question, listen carefully. Species found only in a particular area is known as dash species. Species found only in a particular area is known as dash species. Endemic species, very good. Migratory birds, they fly to faraway places because of dash changes. Climatic changes, very good. Here some of the question and answers given. These question and answers we can study later, but bits is there. Once we will go to that, just wait. These only we can. Now see difference between that following wildlife sanctuary and biosphere reserves. Wildlife sanctuary means An area which provide protection and suitable living condition to wild animals is called wildlife sanctuary. An area which is meant for the conservation of the biodiversity of a particular area is called biosphere reserves. In the wildlife sanctuary, killing, poaching or capturing of the animals is prohibited. Example, Chambal Wildlife Sanctuary, Garial Wildlife Sanctuary. So in the biosphere reserves help to maintain the biodiversity and culture of that area. Example, Panchmarhi Biosphere Reserves. And zoo and wildlife sanctuary difference. Zoo means it is a place where the animals are protected in a artificial habitat for the public view. It is an artificial habitat, Indira Gandhi Zoological Park, Visakhapatnam. Wildlife sanctuary is wildlife sanctuary is a place which provide protection and suitable living condition to wild animal. It conserves the natural habitat of the animal. Examples, dinosaur. Are you understanding? Next, this is very very important, Nana. Endangered species and endemic species. The species which are facing the danger of the extinction is called endangered species. Example, Bengal tiger. Extinct species, the species which are not existing on the earth are called extinct species. Flora and fauna. Flora means the plants that are found in a particular area is called flora. Salt, teak, mango are the flora of the Panchmarhi Biosphere Reserve. Fauna means the animal that are found in a particular area is called fauna. Leopard, wolf, blue ball, etc. are the fauna of the Panchmarhi Biosphere Reserves. Next, discuss the effects of the deforestation. Effects of the deforestation on the wildlife animal. Forests are the habitat of the many wild animals. As a result of the deforestation, wild animals lose their natural habitat. They migrate to one place to the another place to become extinct. And effects of the deforestation on the environment. So the level of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will be increased and that causes to the global warming. If you are deforestation doing what happened? Carbon dioxide levels are increasing. So that carbon dioxide levels are increasing, that is causing to the global warming. And water cycle is disturbed. And deforestation disturbs the ecological balance in the nature. There is no plants means there is no animal. There is no animal means there is no plant. So plants and animals disturbances is occur. Next, effects of the deforestation in the rural area. Rainfall will be reduced. So when the rainfall is reduced, scarcity of the water for the drinking and agriculture also very low, and agriculture productivity will be decreased. Okay, effects of the deforestation in the cities. Pollution and temperature in the cities will be increased due to the deforestation. So effects of the deforestation on the earth. The temperature on the surface of the earth is increased and lead to the global warming. So it decreases the water holding capacity and infiltration rate of the soil. The properties of the soil like nutrients, content, texture, etc. also change. Promote the soil erosion. Deforestation leads to the desertification. So that is causing to the deserts. Next, effects of the deforestation on the next generation. Deforestation causes to the global warming. Nowadays already are you seeing. And soil erosion. Fertile soil is not available. Greenhouse effect. Temperature every summer, generally the temperature is increasing. And droughts and floods and many other global problems are facing. Second point, the next generation may not get a cleaner and safe environment to live. So nowadays you can see there is no pure water, there is no pure air, there is no pure food, there is no pure people, there is no pure peace. Everything is the pollution because of the deforestation. So we go on cutting up the trees, what happened? Okay, so the habitat of the animal is disturbed, the top layer of the soil is exposed. If we go on cutting of the trees, we will not get fresh air. Results, natural calamities like floods, droughts are occur. Global temperature will be increased. Water cycle is disturbed because of we are cutting of the trees. Next, the habitat of the animal is disturbed. What happened? The animal will lose the natural habitat and finally it may be endangered or extinct species. The top layer of the soil is exposed. What happened? It decreased the fertility of the soil and water holding capacity of the soil. So that's the result decreasing of the agriculture productivity. This is a very important question. What is red data book? We should consider that red data book. This is the question for why should we conserve the biodiversity? We should conserve the biodiversity to maintain the balance in the nature. Even protect the forest are not safe for the wild animals because people living in the neighborhood encroach upon them and destroy them. Next B question. Protected forest also not completely safe for the wild animals. Some tribals depend on the jungle. How? See, tribals depend upon the jungle for food items like seeds, grains, fruits, vegetables and other products like honey, fodder for the animals, firewood and for the clothing, animal skin like. So causes of that deforestation. What are the causes of the consequences of the deforestation? Procuring of the land for the cultivation, building houses and factories, making the furniture or using of wood as a fuel, forest fire and severe drought. Consequences of the deforestation: upset of the natural balance between the animals and plant, decrease the rainfall, decrease the amount of the underground water, increase the soil erosion, increase the amount of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, causes the floods, droughts, global warming. Next question, what is red data book? The book which contain a recorded endangered species is called red data book. Last question, why do you understand the term migration? So migration means the phenomena of the movement of a species from its own habitat to some other habitat, particular time period every year for a specific purpose like breeding is called migration. That animals they can move to the one place to the another place because of the search for the food and shelter and breeding purpose, that is known as the migration. Okay, next. Here they are given, observe the pictures of the following and write the names of the place where they are preserved. So name of the animal, Asiatic Lane, Sasan Gir Sanctuary, Gujarat, tiger, Satpura National Park, Madhya Pradesh, one-horned rhinoceros. One-horned rhinoceros is the Kaziranga National Park, Kaziranga Sanctuary, Gujarat. Indian elephant, Bandipur Sanctuary in the Karnataka. Siberian crane, already you can see this Siberian crane, actually migratory bird, Bharatpura Bird Sanctuary, Rajasthan. Every summer again they can move to that their native place like Russia. So these are. And this question is also very important. Write a note on the Project Tiger, a program launched by the government, central government of India, to protect the tigers in our country is called Tiger Project. The Tiger Project was launched in the 1st April 1973. So this main objective of this program is to ensure the survival and maintenance of the tiger population in our country. So April 1st and 1973, central government of India, so this actually Project Tiger is launched, that is increasing the number of the tigers. Okay. Next, next one. What is the difference between the sanctuary and national park? Sanctuary means sanctuary is a reserved area meant for the preservation and development of the endangered wildlife species. Sanctuary is a setup for a specific purpose. That means particular organism purpose. So sanctuary is developed in a comparatively limited area. National park is reserved area for the preserving wildlife, landscape and historic object. National park is a multi-purpose project, so protecting and range of the organism. National park is developed in a comparatively larger area. So enlist the natural and man-made of the deforestation. So man-made procuring of the land for the cultivation, building houses for the factories and making furniture or using wood as a fuel. Now coming to the point, so I can ask to the questions, you can say. Is it okay? Huh? Zoom bigger. Now see. Cutting of a forest in a large scale is called. Is it correct? So cutting of a forest on a large scale is called deforestation. Deforestation. Second, the reason for the loss of biodiversity, increase in the population, deforestation, habitat destruction, all of these. So answer is D. Next, the species which are at the danger of the extincts are called endemic species, extinct species, endangered species, none of these. Once you can check, the species which at the danger of the extinction are called endangered. Okay, endangered. Next, the growing of the more and more plants is called deforestation, reforestation, both A and B, none of these. Reforestation. Next, Tiger project was launched on 2nd June 1970, 1st April 1973, 15th August 1969, 1st July 1973. India got independence dash day.
15th August 1947.
India got that constitution implementation dash onwards. Huh? 1950 January 26. Okay, fourthly we got that India is a, okay, so actually that constitution firstly we are taking to the 1949 and November 26 is the submission date is over. Then 26, every 26 January 26 we can flag hosting. Why? Because India is a democratic country, republic country. Okay, so republic country 1950 January 26 onwards India to become a republic country. But India got the independence 1947 August 15th. So Independence Day we will celebrate every year August 15th, and Republic Day celebration we can do every year January 26th. Now coming to the point, which of the following method is not effective in the controlling the floods? Deforestation, afforestation, to check the rainfall and constructions of the dams. What is the answer? Afforestation not. Which of the following method is not effective in controlling the floods? Afforestation, okay, to check the rainfall, okay, construction dam. So deforestation. So planting of the new trees is called afforestation, deforestation and reforestation. Not afforestation only. Okay. Now see, next question. The endemic flora of Panchamari Biosphere Reserve are sal and wild mango, banana and wheat, rose and maize, neem and gram. Sal and wild mango. Next, endemic species of the animals to New Zealand and Australia. What is the endemic species of New Zealand? Kiwi bird. Australia? Kangaroo. So in India, what is the endemic species? Tiger and peacock. Okay. Next, which of the following is the largest and multi-purpose protected area? Yeju Biosphere Reserves, Sanctuary National Park. Biosphere Reserves. Biosphere Reserves. The animals which are exclusively found in a particular area is called. The animals which are exclusively found in a particular area is called. Extinct species, endemic species, rare species, migratory species. Endemic species. Which among the following leads to the loss of biodiversity? Increase in the population, deforestation, habitat destruction, all of these. Next, the seasonal movement of the animal from one habitat to the another is known as migration, segregation, habitation, isolation. Wildlife Protection Act was enacted in the year 1952, 1962, 1972, 1982. Next, alligator and snakes are hunted for their dash, skin, shells, tusk, hump. Hello. Alligators and snakes are hunted for. Snakes, which purpose we are hunting? So answer is the skin. Next question. Next question. First national park established in India. Very, very important. First national park. First national park established in India is Gir Sanctuary for Asiatic Lion, Jim Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand, Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, National Botanical Garden in Kolkata. Very good. Jim Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand. Chipko movement was launched in the year 1988, 1933, 1973, 2008. 1973. Nilagiri Biosphere Reserve is located. Nilagiri, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Assam, Kerala. Tamil Nadu. What is the capital city of the Tamil Nadu? Who is that? Who is the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu? Stalin. What is the capital city of Telangana? What is the capital city of Andhra Pradesh? Next, who is Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh? Who is the Governor of Andhra Pradesh? Huh? What? Okay, very good. So Nilagiri Biosphere Reserve is located in the Tamil Nadu, and Red Data Book was created in the year 1964, 1963, 1965, 1969. 1964. A species which is critically endangered is the passenger pigeon, the Asian elephant, the olive ridley turtle, the Siberian crane. Next, so these are the, you can write yourself what are national park, what is sanctuary, define the term biodiversity, what do you mean by the endangered animals, explain the following term flora and fauna, what do you mean by the species, mention the reason for the drought and deforestation, what is reforestation, what do you mean by the desertification, what is meant by that biosphere. So these are actually due to the lab time we will discuss, these are next class. Here some another topic is there. What is our topic? Here. Now see, the existence of the biodiversity in the nature teaches us that every plant and animal, whether useful or not, has right to that exist on the earth. Everyone rule, everyone we can survive in the nature. Okay. Every organism is a part of our ecosystem. Loss of any organism is a endemic or otherwise effects of the food chain and food web of the ecosystem, which has impact on the survival of the organism. Hence, if we want to protect the biodiversity on our planet, first we must become a part of conservation and then make them aware of it. Otherwise, today we can see the extinction of some species, tomorrow it could be our species only. Tomorrow human being only disappear. Yes or no? We cannot conserve. Next very important point, conservation, conserving the biodiversity in a wider perspective is utilizing the forest resources judiciously without affecting the ecosystem so that we can have a sustained development and the biodiversity can be conserved and life on the earth survive forever. These are the points are very important. Nature is for humans' need, not for his grade. We usually think of how to utilize nature for our own benefits. We never think of what to do to conserve nature. Human beings is only part of the nature. He is not the whole. If we protect the nature, it protects us. This earth belongs to all the animals and plants, and every organism has an equal right to live. Human being must be sensitized in this aspect to protect the biodiversity. Assertion and reason questions is there that we will discuss next session. Okay? Any doubt regarding Avinash? Conservation of the plants and animals, assertion and reason is there. I can send it to you. Once you can practice, if any doubt you can okay, ask to me doubt. Okay, shall I close the session? So today we will discuss here also forest are the biosphere reserves. The variety and variability of the plants and animals is called biodiversity. The plant or animal species particular area or region or country is called endemic species. Okay, species and species of the plants and animals that have vanished from the earth forever is called extinct species. Plants and animal species that are becoming a extinct is called endangered. The book published IUWC International Union Wildlife Conservation that contain the details of the endangered and endemic species of the is called red data book. Conservation of the wildlife along with the environment seen in the national park. Conservation of the wildlife mostly birds seen in the sanctuaries. Movement of the birds for the nestling from one region to the another region is called migration. Paper should be used thriftily. Using more paper cause more deforestation. So this is about that conservation of the plants and animals.